Morning, guys. Cold one today. It was 9 degrees when I left the truck. We've had kind of a change in weather patterns over the last 3-4 days. Warmed up. We got snow. It warmed up. We got rain, sleety, kind of freezing rain, and now it's really cooled off. 9 degrees when I went in, and it's in the sun here, more like 20 degrees now. It's been about 3 hours. Okay, and I just wanted to look at some tracks here. Look at my boot tracks, and just to show how the tracks will change in various different temperatures. So here's going in. Again, we've looked at this before. The bottom of the track. Now here's the edges. You got to get down deep enough to get below the crust. Okay. Now that's in the shade. Here's going to be a fresh one. So now, again, look at the bottom of the track. Kind of firm. Here, look at that. You can see it's kind of powdery. Okay. Right? So just in that 3 hours, okay, it's really cold, okay, but just in that 3 hours, this old, we haven't got new snow, and this older snow will still change, okay? Just the friction of the boot going through the snow is going to cause enough heat, okay, so that, you're going to have it kind of freeze up a little bit. So using that in trying to age a track, you're going to have to take your glove off and really feel in the bottom of that track. And knowing that even in these super cold temperatures, which will preserve, the tracks a little bit longer, you're still going to have a change. There's still going to be a bit of a deterioration, and then ultimately it's going to freeze up again if it stays cold. Now, the temperature is supposed to warm up today, so you're going to see other changes happening too. And I'll do the same thing. I do this every time. When I walk in, you're leaving tracks. When you come back out, come back to the truck, check. Use that as an opportunity to just really, refine your track aging skills. Here's some different tracks of my own. Here's yesterday. Okay, so this is coming out of the woods yesterday evening. Okay, pretty solid on the bottom. You can hear that. The edges. Okay, pretty solid there. Here's going in this morning, and mind you, temperature last night got down to about 18. It was the same this morning. It hasn't warmed up a whole lot today. Still got some, it's softer, but you can hear that, especially in the bottom. Now here's right now. We just barely made this track. See how it just crumbles? There's nothing hard to it at all, okay? Just crumbles. So it's now noon. I went in at about 7, okay? So this one here where I went in, it's 5 hours old. Yesterday's track, that was about 3:30 p.m., day and a half, and then this one is just now. So just gives you an idea of how in this temperature it's going to, obviously if it was warmer, they're going to deteriorate a lot faster, and then if it were to be warmer yesterday, that should be the next question you ask. Yesterday it didn't get out of the 20s. This does get some sun right here, so potentially it was close to 30, but that track I was on was probably 6 to 8 hours old, and he was really searching, so he's on the move. That's gonna be a hard buck to catch, as much as I really wanted to stay on it. But anyway, I hope I hope this helps, because I know I struggle with it, and I've been doing this a long time. You just have to, really study that track, feel the inside of the track, compare it to others, and know what the weather conditions have been doing in the last 24 hours to really help you, figure out a more accurate age of that track. Hey guys, so still on this buck, but I don't think for much longer. It's a fair amount older than what I had hoped. And one thing that when you're trying to read the age of these wet snow track, one thing that's helpful is if the toe is rotted out, right? Because when they step on wet snow, it is going to push snow down underneath the hoof. And if the ground isn't super wet underneath it, that snow is going to stay there for a little bit. So if the toe of the track is rotted out, like you can see the leaf matter underneath, there's a good chance that track's older than you want it to be. If you look here, this one is rotted right out to the leaves underneath. If you look here, like, obviously I don't have hooves, but you're gonna have that snow stay in the bottom of the track. It's the same thing up here. You really look in there, up near the toe is rotted out. Okay, so everything else about it looks pretty fresh. Snow crumbles, but in this temperature, it's gonna preserve the track for a long time. It'll look pretty sharp for quite a while. So that's one thing about this track that's helping me realize that it's probably time to get off it. Not to mention that I've done a circle a couple times now and come back to boot tracks, because he's still searching for does. I came back on my own boot track, so I keep losing time there. It is what it is. I'm learning, always learning. But you gotta know when to throw in the towel on some of them, because you just ain't gonna catch them. Morning, guys. So I'm on the track here of a so-so buck. I'm hoping to trade up. Yesterday we got a lot of wet snow. Last night it didn't cool down a lot, but between the wind, temperature maybe hovered around freezing. That really wet snow crusted up on top. Now when there's a crust, it can make it hard to determine age on that upper edge of the track. So you really want to get down on the inside walls of that track to help you determine age. Check it out here. So here's my track. Really soft. Upper edge though, pretty crunchy, right? Now here's his track. Upper edge, about the same, but the inner wall, that's got a little bit of it froze up a little bit, okay? See that? You don't have that over here. Super soft. The bottom of the track didn't freeze up. Okay, it's kind of wet here anyway, but it won't because it wasn't cold enough last night. But this track is probably, I'd say late last night. Even though it might look as though it's a lot fresher, you really got to look at that inside wall. Okay, feel that and let that really help guide you when you're dealing with these kind of marginal snow conditions. It makes it harder to determine age. Good luck, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Alright, so more old snow tracking tips. I'm on an older buck track here. snow. We haven't had snow in like 3 or 4 days. In this area, there's not a huge crust. There's less snow. If you look in these tracks, deer makes a track and the snow falls back in it. It will have been heated up just a bit, from their leg. And when that falls back down in the bottom, over time, it'll form these kind of little, like, crystals, okay? So it won't be sharp, kind of contours to the edge of that snow that fell down in it. It'll be more rounded off and almost like freezer burn, okay? Like when you pull meat out of the freezer that's been in too long. So it's hard to see here on the video, but if you really look, you'll be able to see it. So you can kind of see how the track it's almost crystallized. It's almost crystallized on the edges. That's kind of what you want to see. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. This is an older track. It is a good buck. You can see where his rack hit the snow here. It's old though. A lot of feeding in here. Hopefully I can run into him fresh. Snow's better here. Alright, well, he finally bedded. Doesn't look like he laid in it for all that long. A lot of snow dropping. It's wet. Trees dropping. I don't think he was all that comfortable here, but he's headed down. See his track here. It's still rounded out. Whereas you see that sharp. So his edges of the track are rounded out, but again, this time of year they don't go far. And it's warm. It's about 38, 39 degrees. So those tracks are gonna break down fast. It's a little after 9. I'm still gonna poke. I got all day, and like I said, I don't think he's gonna go all that far. If I get to another bed, and he's walking out of it, and it still looks old, then I'll pick up the speed. But for now, I'm just gonna stay slow.